Welcome to Unity. Welcome. Welcome to Unity. Welcome to Unity. Welcome to Unity. Welcome. Join us in singing. Join us in prayer. Join us in touching hearts of people everywhere. Welcome to Unity. Welcome to Unity. Welcome to Unity.
Welcome to Unity. As we begin this celebration service this morning, we'll just take a moment to acknowledge that we live, work, play, and create on the traditional and unceded territories of the Indigenous peoples of Vancouver Island. If you are living somewhere else other than Vancouver Island, please take a moment to bring to mind the people who for tens of thousands of years have lived on and cared for the land. Hi, Chika.
Hi, Chika.
Thank you for being part of this spiritual community this morning. We welcome all people of all faiths and all walks of life. Our hope is that you will find something this morning that inspires you, perhaps challenges you, spiritually strengthens you, or makes you smile. And now, let's sing.
Together in healing, we
Thank you, Leslie and Ken and Nico and Thomas. Today is Father's Day, and there are so many ways that we can recognize and honor those who have filled a father role in our own lives, as well as those who have served humanity in that role. One of my greatest teachers is Mahatma Gandhi, considered the father of India. We have pictures of him you've probably seen walking around with his walking stick and his bare feet, speaking with millions of people all over India. Perhaps you remember the times when he was in prison or fasting, bringing the people together to realize their inner strength and their power to be able to control and have an input in their own lives. Mahatma Gandhi was also a man of great integrity and humility. And I'd like to just share this short story. One day a woman came to Gandhi asking him to get her little boy to stop eating sugar. It was doing him harm. Gandhi gave a cryptic reply, "Please come back next week." The woman left, puzzled, but returned a week later, dutifully following the Mahatma's instructions. "Please don't eat sugar," Gandhi told the young fellow when he saw him. "It's not good for you." Then he joked with the boy for a while, gave him a hug, sent him on his way. But the mother, unable to contain her curiosity, lingered behind to ask, "Bapu, why didn't you say this last week when we came? Why did you make us come back again?" Gandhi smiled. "Last week," he said to her, "I too was eating sugar." So how does that apply in our world today? We can ask ourselves, are we wanting others to do something that we are not willing to do? Do we think people should change and be different when we ourselves are not willing to change and be different? Life is shifting on a global level, and it is imperative, I believe, that we look deep within ourselves to ensure we are contributing our best selves. Please join me in prayer. So I invite you to take a moment just to center yourself, to bring yourself to that still place. Perhaps a deep breath helps you do that, or closing your eyes if that's comfortable. And I invite you to turn your attention inward as we take time now to enter the stillness, the place we remember and can experience the oneness, infinite spirit, divine love. We have the capacity through our thoughts, words, and actions to create opportunities for peace. With my thoughts, I choose compassion. With my words, I choose encouragement. With my actions, I choose kindness. I bring the light into every situation and every conversation. I am a beacon of light. Let's take that thought into the silence for a moment. I am a beacon of light. With gratitude for the restorative power of prayer, we bring our attention back to this now moment, refreshed, renewed, at peace. In this truth, and with this knowing, we release this prayer, seeing it do its perfect work. And so it is. Amen. Before we go on to our next song, I'm just going to remind you that after the service, we have prayer available to you, one-on-one prayer. And our wonderful prayer chaplain, Charlene Simpson, will be in the Zoom room and waiting for you. If you need to wait for a few moments, that means that she's with someone else, and she will admit you as soon as the space is empty. All right, well, let's go on to our next song.
Great, I get to follow that.
Get on it.
Yeah, get on it. Oh, I know what just a second. Wanted to read the email I received from Reverend Patricia. Wow, you get Father's Day as well as Mother's Day. Just a little inside humor between Reverend Patricia and I. Yeah, so I was thinking about that, I had the great gift of giving the Mother's Day talk this year as well as last year, and now I'm blessed with the Father's Day talk this year, and so here's how I sort of came up with it this morning. I was out on my walk and meditation this morning, and I had this thought that it's kind of something like this. I get an email like that, and there's a piece of me that is, excited about doing this, and then there's a piece of me that's not. And then by the time I hit the shower this morning, I was in this place of, I think I need a little more time. I don't think I'm quite ready yet to give this talk. Perhaps a little more research, a little more understanding, and then I'm ready. I know that I'll be connected to myself, and all of this goodness will come out. Yeah. DeSchutter, you will get up there and you will deliver the talk. You will take the power of your manliness and go.
Can I get an amen?
But I'm not ready for that yet. I know there's more I could bring to the table. There's so much more goodness I could find if I could just go a little deeper within and find that feminine within myself. DeSchutter, you will go up there and you will deliver the talk.
Yep.
That's the battle. That's how I see it. This beautiful divine feminine energy within and this beautiful divine masculine energy. And how do we balance those? And then I started thinking about this time that I think I've shared this story before, but I'm going to share it again. Leslie and I were in Hawaii, and the twins were, 6 months, 7 months old. And we were out for a walk. Leslie's mother had come with us, and she was taking care of the girls, and we were out on a morning walk. And it was beautiful, the sun, the waves pounding on the beach, the sand. We were holding hands and just so feeling loving and parental and just, wow, we're so blessed to have these kids. And we took a pause, and we saw this family come down, and behind this family, there was this girl running with a little butterfly net. Not really trying to catch the butterfly, but just skipping along, so pleasant. And right behind her were her two brothers, we assumed, with their tractors, who just dug into the sand and started just pounding and making all this noise. And we thought, there it is. The girls and the boys. Wow, am I glad we had girls. But again, it's that example that is within us. Both of those elements are within us. And if the emotional body is the feminine and the physical body is the masculine, then what I see as my work for myself, and maybe you'll see this for yourself, is to manifest both of those equally, to live down the middle. And sometimes we're going to be too far to one side and sometimes to the other, but if we can find that balance of connecting within and calling upon that emotional, spiritual side of us, and yet calling on that critical thinking and that ability to organize and create community, that side of us, that's when we're living in that balance, in that wholeness. So masculine is doing. Divine masculine energy relishes in the act of doing things. It's like you get this idea from that spiritual side, from that internal beautiful creative side, and then it's that masculine energy that takes over to want to do it. So we run that risk of sitting too much in that feminine side, as this morning where I was like, no, I need a little more time. I need more research, more facts, if I could just get it right. Versus that, no, it's enough. I'm now going to just go and deliver. And whatever comes out, that's good enough for the moment. That's what it is. And unfortunately, in today's world, we see a lot of what we'd call toxic masculinity. And my concern around that is that it's giving masculinity a bad rap. Like somehow we need to eliminate it. And that's not the case at all. The problem is, the challenge we have is it's misguided masculine energy. We've given up the idea of teaching our youngsters, whether they're boys or girls, that they need this side of themselves, that we need to foster both sides, that we need to have both that connection of the feminine and that connection of the masculine. I was listening to a podcast this week from Aubrey Marcus, and it was Aubrey Marcus, Kyle Kingsbury, and Eric Godsey, and they came up with this on the toxic masculine. If it's living in the political, it's this shadow self of my power above all. So we can see that play out in the world. If you just take a pause and look, you can see how that is playing out in the political world. If it's in the entertainment world, it's I am the most attractive, the most successful. And if you go on social media, it's a race to see who has the greatest, best thing and looks the shiniest and can be the most powerful out there and attract the most followers. And look how much money I've made, and look at the cars I drive. And then in the cultural side, it's the I must dominate nature. I will empower myself upon nature. Nature is here for me, and I will run the world. And this is that toxic masculinity. This is where masculine energy has gone offside. We need to bring that back in. As I talked about on Mother's Day, we need to find that way of bringing our youngsters back into a fold of a balance. And that comes from being examples of divine masculine. It doesn't come from just being examples of divine feminine. We need to have men and women who have strong masculinity to stand up in the world and be an example of how good that can be, the good it can do in the world, the actions it can take to heal the world when the two work together. I'll go back to my friend Tsumquatan and when we were speaking. And the more that I've looked at the indigenous people of this land, and I have a colleague in Australia who's in ministerial school with me, and she's done a great deal of research on the indigenous people of Australia. And she shared many of this in her talks in my classes. And what I really see is that these people mastered the world of connection to the earth and the connection to culture, creating a balance with living on the earth and acknowledging it, and creating their culture, which expressed both of those things beautifully and brought it into harmony. And so if anything, we could look back to those people. We could bring those people in and begin to understand how that is the way we need to move forward. We're not going to do it by dominating the earth. It's not going to happen that way. I began to think about the Judeo-Christian Bible that I'm going through in ministerial school, and all of the Bible interpretation I've needed to do, and all of the understanding. And I started to think about Genesis and that idea of we were created with dominion over the world. And somehow I think that got lost into that we're supposed to control things. And I don't think that's what it meant. I actually think it meant that we have the ability to harness and work with all of those beautiful beings, all of the plant life, all of the other animals on the planet, and work in harmony because we have thumbs. Right? We've got this gift of thumbs. We also have the ability to critically think. And yet we can't see right now what we're actually doing in the world. We need to pause and understand that there's a balance that we must work towards. That's one of the beauties that I've seen at Unity in my short time here, is a desire to unify, to harmonize, to bring love into everything that we do. I was thinking about, again, the Bible, and it's, do we form gods in our own image? How much projection do I put when I read sacred texts? Is there a way that I could find myself to not be projecting what I think it should look like when I read Scripture? To really take the essence out of it and not my own ideas. And then I started to think, well, how much of what was written was their own projection? Was their own ideas at that time? So now I'm going to go a little bit down a rabbit hole. I hope you're okay with that. I started to think of spiral dynamics. And for those of you that don't know, Dr. Claire Graves has done a great deal of research on spiral dynamics. And I'll read something from her. What I am proposing is that the psychology of the mature human being is an unfolding, emergent, oscillating, spiraling process marked by progressive subordination of older, lower order behavior systems to newer, higher order system as humans' existential problems change. So let me start with, I'm not going to go right to the basics, but let's go back a few years to what she refers to as this third stage of spiral dynamics, the red stage, the egocentric stage, which was developed, began to emerge about 10,000 years ago. Be what you are and do what you want regardless. The world is a jungle full of threats and predators. breaks free from any domination or constant please self, as self-desires stand tall, expects attention, demand respect, and calls the shots. So that to me sounds like a very masculine energy that we developed. And if you look at our system, that's kind of still prevalent in the world today, I would say. There's still an element of that within us. Then 5,000 years ago, we got to what she called stage blue, the absolutist. I know the absolute truth. Life has meaning, direction, and purpose with predetermined outcomes. One sacrifice themselves to the transcendent cause, truth or righteous pathway, the order in force. And I'm abbreviating these, by the way, so if you want to look at these and do research, you can. About 300 years ago emerged the orange, which I'd say we're very much involved in right now. This is the fifth stage, the multiplistic. Act in your own self-interest by playing the game to win. Change and advancement are inherent with the scheme of things. Progress by learning nature, secrets, and seeking out best solutions. Manipulates Earth's resources to create and spread the abundant good life. How much of that do you see in the world today? And now we're moving. This is really a really good story, because now we're moving into the green, which happened about 150 years ago. And this is the relativistic approach. Green, seek peace with the inner self and explore with others the caring dimensions of community. The human spirit must be freed from greed, dogma, and divisiveness. Feeling, sensitivity, and caring supersede cold rationality. Spreads the earth's resources and opportunities equally among all. So can you see yourself in that? Can you see that in some of your friends, some of the people you associate with? That there's a movement towards this way of living. This would be, she called, the first stage. And now there's the second stage, the second tier, which emerged about 50 years ago, self-expressing. And this is the yellow stage, the seventh stage. Live fully and responsibly as what you are and learn to become life. Life is a kaleidoscope of natural hierarchies, systems, and forms. The magnificence of existence is valued over material possessions. Can you see yourself moving into that stage? Can you see yourself passing on to younger people that ideaism, that way of thinking? And finally, we move into the eighth stage, which is turquoise, the holistic stage, which began to emerge about 30 years ago, self-sacrificing. Experience the wholeness of existence through mind and spirit. The world is a single dynamic organism with its own collective mind, part of a larger compassionate whole. So what I see when I look at that is that there is this domineering masculine energy that has been a part of us for a very long time. And it's maybe been too much a part of us. And now we need that shift. But we can't just sacrifice it and let it go. We can't say, oh, let's punt that out the door. We don't need it. We absolutely do need it. Again, those creative ideas come from within us, that divine feminine. But in order to act, we need that masculine energy that puts us into action. And so if you're somebody that thinks we don't need that, I invite you to look and see maybe there's a toxic element of the divine masculine that is at play that we could do less of in the world, that we could work towards healing. So I have some ideas. I have 3 simple things you could do now to begin to cultivate that divine masculine. And this comes from The Self-Love Experiment by Shannon Kaiser. 1, use affirmations. Oh, wow. How about that? Affirmative prayer is what I thought of as soon as I saw that. Use affirmations. Are you serious? That's great. I can do that all day long. You can think about affirmations related to some of the aforementioned masculine traits like strength, discipline, logic. So here are a few. I am a warrior. I am a master of self-discipline. I see things clearly and objectively. I am confident. I know when to take action. Those are some simple affirmations that you could adopt if you're feeling like you are hanging too much into the divine feminine. Learn to take risks with confidence. Be willing to take risks. There is, what I've come to realize, there's no gain in this world without taking a risk, without taking the risk of stepping up here and doing this talk when part of me was going, no, there's so much more you could learn. And finally, maybe there's some healing you need to do around some of your masculine relationships from the past. And that's maybe where some of that toxic idea comes from. And so for that, I invite you to seek out a spiritual teacher, seek out a coach, seek out a therapist, somebody that can help you work through that. Because you can't eliminate it. It's part of us. It's beautiful. It also needs to be celebrated, just as we need to celebrate our divine feminine. So I decided this morning to go back to something I was doing quite a while ago because I thought I had gotten away from it, which is on my walks, there's this great little spot where I can stand on a cliff, but the cliff is decorated with these beautiful trees, and I can do a sermon to the trees, and they talk back to me, and I talk to them, and I've always imagined that when I give them my gratitude and I say thank you to them and I speak my words to them, that their root system is connected throughout the entire world. So my words are traveling everywhere within the earth. And it's given me great strength to do that. And so I went up there again this morning thinking, I haven't done that in a while. And I think maybe I'm drifting too much into the do world, and I need to bring myself back to connection. And so as I was there, I was thinking about Father's Day, and to be honest, I was listening to a song by Alanis Morissette. Thank You was the song, and I was brought to tears. I had one of those, I think she has a line in the song, unabashedly crying your eyes out. Well, that was me this morning on this hilltop, just bawling my eyes out as I thought of, I don't even know what, to be honest, I have no idea what I was thinking. It was just a feeling, an emotional feeling that I decided I wanted to release. And maybe it was the end of a term at school. Maybe it was just all of the things that had culminated so far this year. But I felt this great release. And then I thought of my girls, and I wrote this down very quickly in, a few moments. It's called Being Father. Holding you to hold you. Loving you to love you. Listening to you to hear you. Acknowledging you to honor you. Being with you to experience presence. Hugging you to open my heart fully. Guiding you to be guided myself. Talking with you to hear myself. And letting go of you to embrace all of it. I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to have two kids that allow me to grow and mature and learn so much. And it wasn't always that way for me. There was a time where I thought I had to, tell them how the world is and the way it was going to be, and this is how it should go, and you don't know anything, I know everything, and blah, 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 blah. And then I realized that, hey, I think I'm being my parents a little bit. Not that my parents were bad. That's, back then, that's what you did. You iron fist somewhat. But what I've come to learn is that my kids are, in some areas, way smarter than I am. They know way more than I do.
Plus, they're teenagers now.
And they're teenagers, so they actually know everything. But aside from that, aside from that, the gift, if I were to look at how much masculine energy I have, the gift from them has been me learning to release some of that. In my case, I actually needed to give some of that up and move more into the feminine energy. When I went to admissions at Unity, my first admissions letter from licensing and ordination on what I had to work on was, Thomas needs to move from his head into his heart. Thanks a lot. How exactly do I do that? However, the kids have been a great benefit for that, as well as all of the teachings at Unity and being here at Unity. And so if there's one thing I can leave you with this week, it's to understand that we have these two beautiful energies within us. All of us have them. All of us are gifted with more of one than the other. And it's not good or bad, it's just the way it is. And inside of that, we can learn to manifest the other part. Not giving up what we're really strong at, but balancing it out and aligning the two so that we can live our best life. And with that in mind, I invite you to join me for a little reflection within. And you can play along if you'd like, Nico. So now just take a hand and place it on your belly, just below your belly button, and just gently give a push there so that you can feel that. And through your nose, breathe in so that you feel your belly rise. And as you let it go, you'll feel your belly fall. And do it again. And let it go. And now just allow yourself to breathe. If you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. Just allow yourself to focus, and I invite you to focus on an I am. I am a master of self-discipline. I see things clearly and objectively. I am confident. I know when to take action. Choose any one of those or one of your own. Just allow that to be your focus right now. Imagine you can see those words being typed out right in front of you. And if any other words begin to show up, or if you find your mind has wandered off, just bring yourself back gently to those words. Feel them. Embody them. And as we do that, I invite you to join me for a few moments of being in the silence and allowing whatever to unfold from within. gently bring yourself back to your breath, back to this room or the space that you're in. Let us take a moment to be grateful for one another, for having this time together, for all of the fathers in the world, for all of the Father that's in each of us, and for all of the mothers that is in each of us. We have so much to be thankful for. And I'll leave you with something from Alanis Morissette from that thank you song. How about how good it feels to finally forgive you? How about remembering your divinity? Namaste.
One moment, please. Yeah. I brought a friend from across the moat today. This is Ricky Scott from Protection Island. That's juice.
It's such a cliche, but I gotta say, it's great to be back.
Woo!
It is. I'll never forget the time I was here before. It was just a beautiful moment with beautiful people, and what was it, Nico? It was yesterday. It hit me. I said, my gosh, it's a convergence of Father's Day and the longest day of the year. What should I do? Come here. Yeah. It doth rhyme. So I called up Nico and I said, hey man, I want to do a gig. And Nico said, he made a phone call, and next thing you know, I'm welcomed into the flock. I'm glad to be here. And this is a song that I made up called The Longest Day. It was originally made up with a bagpipe accompaniment, which means I had to be in B flat, which is not a good place to be. But I made up this song in the longest day. I was in Yellowknife at a Folk on the Rocks, which is a folk festival. And it was a great anniversary for Northwest Territories. They were celebrating their 75th, their 80th, I don't know what it was, their 100th something anniversary. And the federal government said, let's give them something special to celebrate with. So they gave them $30,000 worth of fireworks. Now this is the longest day of the year in Yellowknife, the 21st. And I don't know if any of you have ever watched a firework demonstration in the daytime. It's basically little puffs of smoke with bang, bang. And that's what it was. We're all standing there going... But leave it to the humans to get it right. Suddenly, spontaneously, thousands of people started going, whoa! Wow! So this is my 2 cents worth on the longest day. We're taking it from bagpipes down to New Orleans. Yeah, we can do that. This night. You're here to see if I still got some moves. You still I pray I still got some groove. This night. We're doing another?
You want to talk at the time?
Yeah, I did the time.
Is there enough time? Is it the time stopping?
Yeah, I want everybody to sing on this one. This is because I am the luckiest man in the world. Because I get to play music with Nico Rhodes on a regular basis. We have a little group we call Roots and Groove. We like to be in tune because we care. Yeah. And Nico and I have been playing together for what, 3 years now. Made an album, toured a lot, still at it, even though the plague is upon us. It's because we care. Need a little more juice on the left hand, far left hand knob. This one. That's one. Thank you. And when I play with Nico, because there is a bit of an age difference. I don't know if you've noticed.
Can't tell.
No, can't tell. But sometimes we're like two little children together because we just want to cause musical mischief and we want to go out in the world and mess with it note for note. Yeah. And then sometimes we're like two brothers out in the world alone against everybody, all the forces. We're driving to Burns Light together. Yeah, we're going to survive this. And sometimes we're just like two lovers playing a song together that's just so beautiful that we swoon. It's so much fun. And then sometimes I feel like I'm a father to this beautiful boy. And especially when he said to me, "Dad, will you show me something on the dulcimer?" And I said, "Okay." And so I get to show him a few things on the dulcimer, and this is one of the first ones that we did together. And this is also one that my dad thought was one of his favorites that I made up. Except for the chorus, because the song is called Ta Ta Tatami. And my father is a Texan. I'll just let that sit for a minute and marinate with you. And a tatami mat, I don't know if you know this, a tatami mat is a brilliant Japanese invention that people sleep on and walk upon, and it's an amazing thing made with bamboo. And when I left Japan after living there for a year, I made up a song to say goodbye to my tatami mat. It's called Ta Ta Tatami.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and my father always said, "I like the song, Ricky, but I just don't understand that ta-ta stuff." Well, the sun comes up and goes back down. But guess what? It comes back up. I don't know about this up and down, but I like to think the sun can't get enough. And you see, that's like me. I'm a little like that light. And when we sing, I feel we're shining on. So if this is a goodbye, I hope our little song will carry on. I hope our little song will carry on.
Ta-ta-ta-ta-me, 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 ta-ta-ta-ta-me. Ooh, yeah. Now the tree grows up and falls back down. The seed in the ground grows up. Now I don't know about this up and down, but I like to think the tree can't get enough. And you see, that's like me. I shake like a leaf, but when we sing, I feel we're standing strong. So if this is a goodbye, I hope our little song will carry on. I hope our little song will carry on. Ta-ta-ta-ta-me, 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 ta-ta-ta-ta-me. Oh, now people grow up and they fall back down, and in between they try a lot of stuff. I don't know if they win or they lose, but I do not think that people sing enough. So agree with me, I'm not always right, but when we sing I feel so safe and warm. So if this is a goodbye, I hope our little song will carry on, carry on. I hope our little song will carry on, carry on, carry on, carry on. Ta-ta-ta-ta-me, 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 ta-ta-ta-ta-me. Thank y'all. I love you, Unity.
And we love you. Thank you very much. I'm supposed to follow that? So a few little things to tell you about what you can do, what you could do. You could join Clarkson after service today for a fellowship on Zoom and talk a little bit about what this morning's been like for you and all the insights and joyous things you've had. Or you could join Reverend Vicky on Monday evening for the 4th of her 5 series, I Pray in These Times. So how do we apply that principle in these times? Or we are launching a new group this next week, July the 9th. Join Dean for poetry sharing. So you can either just come and listen or you can present a poem for discussion. It's in person here, and we're going to do our very best to bring you Zoom as well. So we're really getting highfalutin there. So put that on your calendar if you're a lover of poetry, and we'll talk to you about it more next week. And as we prepare to reopen, which we're watching closely, we'll let you know as soon as we think it works for us. But there's cleaning and weeding and all sorts of work to be done around here. So give me a call, send me an email, tell me I'm available on Wednesday afternoon. We'll find something for you to do. And the last chance to celebrate Vicky's her farewell at the up in Comox on Wednesday afternoon. Yes, if you'd like to attend that, let me know, and we'll let Judy Murakami know that you're coming. And of course, as usual, you can join me on the 9 o'clock morning meditation Monday through Saturday, and Dawn or Margaret at 10 o'clock on Sunday. Our gratitude this week goes to our new board members who are joining us: Glenn Sheridan, Diane Jung, Heather Hodge, and Sky Lefebvre. We appreciate their stepping forward. And of course, we appreciate all your generous financial contributions that have kept us growing, allowed us to expand, allowed us to renovate buildings, allowed us to purchase the best in audiovisual equipment to bring you the best show we can. And so please repeat with me our abundance affirmation. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Affirmation of the vision of Unity Worldwide Ministries, which is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And our children's blessing today: we see the light of God shining as you. We love and appreciate you the way you are. And now please join us with our prayer of protection and our peace song. The light that is God surrounds me. I am one with the light. The love that is God enfolds me. I am one with the love. The power that is God protects me. I am one with the power. The presence that is God watches over me. I am one with the presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. And so it is. Amen.